Stop wasting time on trading if you're consistently losing. Why is that? Because you're not playing a fair game. You're stepping into a system engineered to make you believe you can win, while every underlying structure ensures you lose long enough to be eliminated. That's not an opinion. That's the mechanism. And the most dangerous part isn't that you're losing money. It's that you don't realize you're being kept in the game far longer than you should be. Let's start with a truth no one states plainly. Most traders don't fail because they lack strategy. They fail because they don't understand they're operating inside an environment optimized to exploit human psychology. Trading is not just chart analysis. It's an arena where human behavior is repeated, harvested, and converted into liquidity for the players on the other side. You think you're analyzing the market. In reality, the market is analyzing you. Picture yourself walking into a casino. You know the odds are stacked against you. You know the longer you play, the more you lose. And yet, you sit down. Why? Because you believe this time will be different. Trading runs on the same principle. With one critical difference, it's more dangerous. Because there are no neon lights, no slot machine sounds, no dealer sitting across from you. It looks like a profession that promises financial freedom, a profession you can run from a laptop, a profession where you believe if you're smart enough, you'll win. That's the trap. The market doesn't need you to lose immediately. It needs you to stay. And to keep you there, it has to give you hope. A few winning trades, a few days where you feel like you've figured it out, a few moments where you double your account, just enough to convince you you have an edge, just enough to make you size up, just enough to keep you from walking away. And then it takes it all back. Not randomly, structurally. You need to understand something. Financial markets are not designed to make you money. They're designed to generate liquidity. And where does that liquidity come from? From traders willing to enter positions, from traders placing stop losses at predictable levels, from traders reacting emotionally. In other words, from the crowd. And if you're consistently losing, you're not the player. You are the supply. This is where it turns cold. The market isn't against you. You're simply behaving like the majority. You buy when price is rising. You sell when price is falling. You enter after the signal is obvious. You cut losses only when the pain becomes unbearable. You take profits early because you're afraid to lose small gains. Every one of those behaviors is perfectly rational if you're human, and completely destructive if you're a trader. The issue isn't strategy. The issue is how your brain operates under financial pressure. When you see a strong bullish candle, your brain triggers dopamine. You feel opportunity. You don't want to miss out. You enter. When price moves against you, you don't cut immediately. You hope. You wait. You tell yourself the market will come back. That's not a lack of discipline. That's survival instinct. Humans are wired to avoid pain and seek reward. But trading demands the opposite. Accept small pain, a stop loss, to avoid catastrophic loss, and reject small rewards, early profit taking, to capture large gains. You're fighting your own biological wiring, and most people lose that fight. But that's just the surface. The real trap runs deeper. Trading creates an addiction loop, not to money, to emotion. Every trade triggers a cycle: expectation, tension, anticipation, outcome, emotional reaction. It's structurally identical to gambling, but more dangerous because it's wrapped in the illusion of analysis. You don't think you're gambling. You think you're learning. You think you're improving. You think with just a bit more time, you'll crack the market. That's the illusion. Face the reality. If you've spent months, years even, and still can't produce consistent profitability, the problem is no longer skill. It's the system you're participating in. A system where information flows too fast, feedback arrives too frequently, short-term outcomes are largely random, and rewards are unevenly distributed. That's a perfect formula for behavioral addiction. You start the day with a plan. You tell yourself you'll take one trade. You tell yourself you'll stay disciplined. Then the market opens. An opportunity appears. You enter. You lose. You want it back. You take another trade. You lose again. You increase size. Pressure builds. Logic disappears. All you want is to get back to break even. And by the end of the day, you haven't just lost money. You've lost control. That's how trading pulls you deeper. Not by wiping you out instantly, but by convincing you you're close. Just one more tweak, One more strategy, one more indicator, one more course, one more attempt. And you don't realize you're not getting closer to profitability. You're getting closer to exhaustion. Here's a truth very few accept. The market does not pay effort. It doesn't care how much you've studied, how many videos you've watched, how many late nights you've endured. It only responds to behavior. And if your behavior mirrors the crowd, your results will mirror the crowd. So if you're consistently losing, the question is not, what do I need to learn next? It's, should I continue at all? That's the point most people refuse to face because they've already invested too much time, too much money, too much hope. They don't want to admit it might all be a mistake. That's sunk cost, and it keeps you in the game longer than you should be. But the market doesn't care what you've put in. It only cares what you have left. If you don't have a clear edge, if you don't have a tested system, if you can't control your behavior under pressure, then every minute you spend trading is not an investment. It's a drain. And here's what you need to hear. Whether you like it or not everyone is built to be a trader, just like not everyone is built to be a professional athlete, or a pilot, or a surgeon. This is an environment that demands extreme psychological control. And if you don't have it, the market will take your money cleanly, efficiently, and completely within the rules. Look at how you execute your trades. It's not random that you buy breakouts at the highs. It's not random that you sell breakdowns at the lows. It's not random that millions of traders around the world are watching the same patterns, placing orders in nearly identical locations, and setting stop losses at predictable levels. That's not coincidence. That's behavioral synchronization. The market doesn't need to know who you are. It only needs you to behave like the crowd. And to achieve that, it uses three levers: price structure, information, and time. Three things that appear neutral, but in reality function as behavioral guidance systems. Start with price structure. You've been taught that markets trend. You've been taught that breakouts present opportunity. You've been taught that support and resistance define key levels. It all sounds logical, but here's what you're not told. When a structure becomes too obvious, it stops being an edge. It becomes a trap. Picture a resistance level that everyone can see. Price tests it multiple times. Each time, it gets rejected. A belief starts to form. This is a selling zone. Then comes the fifth test. Price approaches again. Traders begin placing sell orders. Stop losses stack just above. Liquidity starts to build, a pool of resting orders sitting right overhead. And then what happens? Price breaks higher. Not because the market is surprising, but because it needs liquidity. It needs those stop losses. It needs breakout buyers. It needs fuel to continue moving. You think you got stopped out. In reality, you just provided the fuel. That's how price structure operates. Not to guide you, but to gather you. Next is information. In this era, you have everything: news, analysis, indicators, strategies, videos, courses. You feel equipped. But here's the problem. You're not the only one with that information. Everyone has it. When major news hits, you think you're reacting quickly, but so are millions of others. You think you're capturing opportunity. In reality, you're participating in a collective reaction. And when everyone moves the same way, the market no longer needs to go in that direction. You've seen it before. Good news hits, price drops. Bad news hits, price rallies. That's not a paradox. That's liquidity logic. News doesn't create trends. It creates reactions. And those reactions are exactly what the market needs. Finally, time. This is the least discussed and the most underestimated. Markets don't just move in price, they move in rhythm. A rhythm that exhausts you. A rhythm that erodes patience. A rhythm that pushes you to act just to feel in control. You sit in front of the screen. You wait. Nothing happens. Doubt creeps in. Maybe I'm missing something. You drop to a lower time frame. You find a signal. You enter. The market reverses. Not because your analysis was wrong, but because you were pulled into a time frame where noise dominates. The market understands something fundamental. Humans are not built to wait. They need action to feel control. And when you act too often, you turn yourself into a constant source of liquidity. These three elements, structure, information, time, combine into a behavioral engine. But there's a deeper layer, something that doesn't just get you involved, it keeps you from leaving. The illusion of control. You believe that if you study long enough, test enough strategies, optimize enough indicators, you'll find the right way, a formula. An edge, something that delivers consistency. And that belief isn't entirely wrong. But here's the problem. In the process of searching, you get trapped in a loop. You test a strategy, you backtest it. It looks promising, you apply it, you win a few trades, then you lose. Doubt sets in. You adjust, you switch, you try something new. Repeat. What you don't realize is this: you're not building an edge, you're resetting your learning curve over and over again. The market doesn't need you to be ignorant, it only needs you to be inconsistent. And every time you change strategies, you go back to zero. This is how the system keeps you in a state of almost right. Not bad enough to quit, not good enough to break free. A suspended state, a state that keeps you engaged. There's a concept in behavioral psychology called variable reward. When rewards are not consistent but arrive randomly, the brain becomes fixated. This is the mechanism behind gambling, and it's the same mechanism behind trading. If you lost continuously, you'd quit. If you won consistently, you'd stabilize. But if you win, then lose, then win, then lose, you get stuck. You keep thinking, I'm close, I just need to adjust a little. And that belief keeps you in the loop. This is where everything becomes clear. The market doesn't defeat you with a single blow. It erodes you. Gradually, it takes your money, then your confidence, then your decision-making ability, then your time. And by the time you realize it, you're no longer in a position to win. What's most critical is this: you don't recognize the process while it's happening. You call it tuition, you call it a phase, you call it necessary experience. But there's a very thin line between learning and self-destruction. If you don't have a clear framework to evaluate progress, if you don't have data to validate an edge, if you don't know exactly what you're doing right and wrong, then everything you're doing is just structured randomness. And randomness does not produce sustainable profit. That's why most traders never level up. Not because they don't try, but because they're operating inside a maze, where every path leads back to the starting point. You've made it this far, not because you lack information. You've read enough, watched enough, tested enough, lost enough. The problem is no longer the market. It's a more uncomfortable question. Should you even continue? And if so, in what way that doesn't waste more time? Here's the reality. Trading doesn't destroy you instantly. It does something more subtle. It makes you feel like you're progressing while you're actually standing still. You learn another strategy. You feel like you understand more deeply. You optimize another indicator. You feel like you're getting closer. You try another method. You feel like you're on the right track. Now pause for a moment. If all of that actually worked, why haven't your results changed? This is where most traders refuse to look. You don't lack knowledge. You lack structure to eliminate waste. Left unmanaged, trading becomes one of the most time-consuming activities with the least proportional return. It's not like a career with a defined path. It's not like a skill with a clear progression ladder. Trading is an environment where you can feel busy without actually advancing. So how do you stop burning time? Not by trying harder, but by redesigning how you participate. First, accept something cold. Trading is not a place for self-discovery. It's a place to execute a tested system. If you're still switching strategies every week, changing your execution constantly, jumping from one method to another, then you're not trading. You're researching without a stop condition. The solution is not to find more. The solution is to close the loop. Pick one method. It doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be defined. When you enter, when you exit, how much you risk when you do nothing. Then do what 90% of traders never do. Freeze everything else. No new indicators, no new strategies, no mid-process adjustments. You turn trading from an emotional activity into a repeatable process. Second, shift your focus from outcome to data. This is where the game changes. Most traders evaluate themselves based on winning or losing trades, profitable or losing days, account up or down. None of that means anything in the short term. A professional doesn't ask, how much did I make today? They ask, is my system performing as expected? That requires a real trading journal, not just logging trades, but capturing why you entered, whether you followed the plan, whether emotion influenced the decision, whether the outcome aligns with system expectations. You're no longer trading to make money. You're trading to collect data on your own behavior. Only when you have enough data can you determine whether you actually have an edge. Without it, you're guessing. Third, impose a limit most people avoid, a time boundary, not daily, a defined phase. For example, give yourself 3 months. During that period, one system only. Every trade documented, no changes mid-cycle. At the end, you evaluate. Does the system have an edge? Did you execute it correctly? Did you maintain behavioral control? If the answer is no, you don't push harder. You stop. This is where most traders never go. They never define an endpoint, so they continue. Month after month, year after year, not out of conviction, but because they don't know when to quit. Fourth, understand something simple, but difficult to accept. Not trading is a professional decision. You don't need to be in the market every day. You don't need to place trades to feel productive. Most losses don't come from obvious setups. They come from unnecessary trades. The ones you take because you're bored, you fear missing out, you want to recover losses, you want to feel in control. That's not trading. That's emotional reaction disguised as financial decision-making. A skilled trader isn't the one who trades the most. It's the one who eliminates the majority of unnecessary trades. Finally, confront the question no one wants to answer. If you cannot make money from trading, are you willing to walk away? Not pause. Walk away. Because if the answer is no, then you're no longer making rational decisions. You're emotionally attached. At that point, trading stops being an opportunity. It becomes a trap. And here's what matters most. Not everyone needs to win in trading. You can build a career elsewhere. You can invest long-term. You can make money in less psychologically demanding ways. Trading is not the only path. It's just the most heavily marketed one. If you choose to continue, do it with full awareness of the risk, not as someone chasing hope. And if what you've just read feels uncomfortable, but accurate, then you don't need another strategy. You need a different lens. That's why the Trading Mindset Lab channel exists. Not to teach entries, but to help you understand why you enter wrong, why you can't stop, and how to think like someone who survives instead of someone who gets eliminated at this. If you want to approach trading in a way that's more realistic, more cold, but closer to how it actually works, subscribe. Not for shortcuts, but to remove the illusions that are costing you. And before you close this, remember something every professional understands, but very few beginners accept. Trading always involves risk. You can lose part or all of your capital. There are no guarantees. No system is certain. No strategy is immune to loss. If you enter the market believing you will make money, you've already lost. But if you enter knowing you can lose, you must control risk. You need absolute discipline, and you are willing to stop when it's not working. Then at least you're playing this game with your eyes open. The final question is not, can you win? It's, are you clear-headed enough to stop losing when you realize you're going in the wrong direction?